Hello, everybody. Thank you so very much for clicking on. We are just getting started. Their oath on the Smart People Show tonight. And again, thank you for joining us. Chris will be joining us here momentarily. And we are going to um, see what that means, their oath. And I hope you'll stick around. In the meantime, we're going to get things started here with something from the Twitter sphere, former Twitter sphere, now the X files. This comes from Morales Alert, came in 4 hours ago. The FBI has arrested transgender woman plotting violence against Jews, black people, and alleged targeting transphobic co-workers with Nazi imagery and a stockpile of guns and ammunition. What happened here? Hang on. There we go. This is what I wanted to do, show more. And she's a 56-year-old, she 56-year-old transgender woman named Elizabeth Ballesteros West, lived in Cottage Grove, Oregon. West was found with a cache of guns and has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. According to federal agents and court records, West is being held at the Lane County Jail, and the investigation is ongoing, alleging West made threats online to harm, to kill Jews and black people, and reposted content about a mass shooting while displaying her own Nazi flag and multiple guns. She also threatened her transphobic co-workers. She also found with 16 rifles, 11 handguns, 10,000 rounds of ammunition, tens of thousand rounds of ammunition, gun accessory, 48 drawings, a composite notebook called Black Shadow Journal. So again, that came in just recently this afternoon, and what a way to start off our little episode here tonight. Hello, always be kind. Thank you for being here and not going away. As always, thank you for being here. Thank all of you for being here, whether you're watching live along with us or if you're watching at your convenience. We've got some things that we need to talk about. And again, Chris is coming up here momentarily. Tonight's topic, their oath. To find out what that means, just hang out here for a few minutes. You're going to hear the name Nimrata Randhawa, and you probably have never heard the name before. Again, it's Nimrata Randhawa, and you're going to hear it from the former president of the United States, because that is Nikki Haley's given name. And the reason you're going to hear it, and the reason she doesn't go by Nimrata, is because race matters in this country. And otherwise, why would he be pointing it out now? Just something to think about. And that's what we do here. We give you things to think about. We don't tell you what to think or how to think. We just give you things to think about. And again, stick around. When Chris gets here, we've got something definitely to think about. And in the meantime, I want you to I want to kind of make an analogy here. You know how when you go and you see a really good magician, they get you directed over on one side while the important things are happening over on the other side. And I'm just making that analogy to what's going on right now, election-wise, and what's going on right now in the media and on social media. Okay, there's a big movement that this election is over. Donald Trump was so dominant in Iowa, which he was. He won 48% of the vote in Iowa. Okay, what's that actually mean? 56,280 votes. Okay, That's how many votes he has so far. 56,280 votes. While the media and everybody's going, oh, but the actual reality is only 56,280 people in one state have actually made any kind of claim towards preferences other than the polls that are conducted, not the electoral polls, but the polls by colleges and by news media. So the polls can be manipulated. The actual election results should not be able to be manipulated. However, is that the case? I don't know. I want to give you this to look at here. Give Chris a couple minutes, and then we'll move along. This is the, again, you can, I don't know if you can see it. It's a paper bag that says ballots. This is how the at least this portion of the Republican caucus in Iowa was conducted. All right. So again, while everybody's telling you blah, 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 the actual reality is only 56,000, less than 56,300 people have actually voted in a country where roughly 160 million will probably be voting this year. So let's just kind of keep things in perspective as we talk politics, and we will be doing that on Friday. And if you'd like to join us, well, you can send me an email at americandufus at gmail.com. If you'd like to help support the show, of course, Cashapp, americandufus at gmail.com. And I don't know, maybe Chris is not going to be with us. I haven't heard from him today. And, things are hectic all over the world. So, again, we'll be back on Friday. I'll be back on tomorrow because it's been a while since I've been on. Had to take a forced vacation from YouTube, if you know what I mean. And glad to be back. And again, we'll be back on Friday night. And if we have enough if we get 2 or 3 people, enough for a panel, we'll do that. If not, we'll have a Q&A session on Friday. And if Chris is back with us, we will be talking. He's got a lot of questions about politics and possibly questions other people might have too, since that's kind of my area of expertise. We will delve into that on Friday. We've already did a little bit here tonight. So in the meantime, I will go ahead and get rolling on this. The subject of tonight is the subject of tonight is their oath. And who is they? Who are they? What are they? I got to play a few things here, and I'm not going to play them without. I've got to give warning. Some of this stuff is disturbing, and the only way you counter disturbing things are by shedding light on it. Let me just start with this, and it's only 14 seconds long.
We are the first species.
I'm not sure who this lady is or where this was taken, but the words are a certainty.
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do, the babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight. We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do, the babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight. We are the first
again, the oath they take, and who are they? Who are they? Well, this is an interesting video. Normally, we see videos where the Pope is kissing the ring of others. We start this video and the Pope and Benjamin Netanyahu, and eventually we will see the members of the Rothschild family, as well as the departed Henry Kissinger. Let's. We don't need the music behind that. Do not need to. Again, normally everyone comes and kisses the ring of the Pope. So this is just something to think about. Why is the Pope kissing these people's rings? And again, Henry Kissinger. So, that kind of brings us. What happened? Okay, here we go. I think I might have heard Chris pop on here. I did. Good. Chris, are you with us?
Yep, I am, Barry. How are you?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Good, good.
I want to get set up here. We've seen. Hang on a second. We've seen a couple of things. I got two more things to show here. Let me get. I think I've got. I might not have copied the one I wanted to show. I don't think I did. I'll show this tomorrow night if I don't have it. Let me look here real quick. Okay, I do not have it. What we're gonna do tonight, Chris, is we had talked about Chris, and for those that are watching, Chris and I had talked about we're going to do a political show tonight, and Chris has a lot of political questions, and we're going to deal with them. Then I got some interesting things, and instead of, in lieu of Chris and I talking politics and taking questions, we're going to push that till Friday, and we are going to. Let me get this cued. We're going to react to a video, Chris, if that's all right with you.
That's fine.
We're trying to open people's eyes. We're trying to get people to think, because there's just not enough of that going on, in my opinion. The latest news: supposedly the International Criminal Court is going to find Israel guilty of genocide.
Genocide, right?
Yeah, and will that have any impact on anything?
No, not at all.
The United States doesn't adhere to the International Criminal Court. Nor does Russia, by the way.
No, the question is, you can be found guilty of something, right? But what are the penalties supposed to be? You see, and if there's penalties, who's going to enforce them? So, if you're saying you're guilty of genocide, okay, great, but what are the penalties? How are they going to be enforced? You see.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's none of that, then what good was it to even take them to the criminal court, the International Criminal Court?
Yeah, there aren't any ramifications for what you're doing.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, Chris. The topic for tonight is their oath. who they are is always going to be, up to interpretation. Um, this particular this particular particular poster on X says the Jesuit Satanic Secret Covenant, and what we're going to watch is a video made by Dana Horoshki, and she's Canadian, and this is from, it says 2012, it's not, it's from 2009, and it says the secret covenant is, why is this doing this? For some reason, okay, I guess maybe X is reformatted since I had to take a forced vacation. So let me do it this way so I can read it. There we go. Sorry about that. We're doing this live, obviously. Secret covenant, not a secret anymore. The truth has been exposed. Everything stated in the document years ago has come true and is coming true at this very moment. The veil has fallen, and it is easy to see who they are. Now's the time to stand together and take action by hunting them down and restoring humanity to its rightful place, is what this particular poster feels is happening. Let me get it back down here and see if I can expand it a little bit. There we go. And we'll listen in here. You have not seen this, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. We'll listen in here and then get your comments. I think and I tried to cue it up, but it fouled it up. So I'm just going to let it run here until about 1:30. And we'll find out what this secret oath is.
So this is in the Polly Hicks section of CanadaStreetNews.com.
Okay, she's talking Canadian politics still, which is irrelevant to what the actual purpose. It's not. It's irrelevant to us, but to what she's getting at and what is relevant to all of us is coming up here.
Covenant. An illusion, it will be so. An illusion, it will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are connected, are not connected, to keep the illusion alive. The goal will be accomplished one drop at a time so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. It will also prevent them from seeing the changes that as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the Absolute. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. They're talking about the human race. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, and also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. Chemtrails. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure for our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. Soft metals, mercury, vaccinations. The poison, aluminum in our deodorant. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, and in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it's for their help. We will start early on and when their minds are young, and we will target their children and what their children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their minds and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them even sicker and cause other diseases for which we will create even more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention towards money and material goods, so that they have they may never connect with their inner self, with fornication, external pleasures, and games, so they may never be one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. They use microchips. Everybody's pretty much microchipped now. The troublemakers are even more microchipped.
Again, this is in 2009.
We will establish their governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective, but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. These are the Luciferians. This is the New Age agenda. This Lucifer is the Sanat Kumra that's coming. We will always hide our objective.
These are her opinions that she's injecting while reading, and at the end again, I'll show you the site, and you can actually go and actually read for yourselves once this is over. So again, just for full disclosure on all of this. Now back to the recording.
But carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. I said that already. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. Theirs is mostly reptilian bloodline, dragon race. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what they think and how to think. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think they are guiding themselves. We will foment anonymously between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits us best.
Okay, we'll stop there. It's about halfway through. Chris?
Yep.
What do you think?
It's most likely true. Remember I was telling you in the audience about the occult and how,
especially in Africa, Haiti,
right,
the Caribbean,
right. But it's not as big, I don't think, as it is in those countries. But obviously, the occult is here too. You see what I'm saying? It's just not talked about as much as it is like in Haiti or in the continent of Africa or maybe in South America. But I guess it's starting to rear its ugly head. You see.
The last thing she said right before I paused it, she said that when a light rises up to try to bring the truth, they'll ridicule those people, or they'll eliminate them.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? We know Yah, God, is about the truth, right? So if they're saying that, they're trying to silence people or kill people because they're telling the truth, then the devil's a lie, right? That's basically it,
Yeah.
it's just basically what is what she's saying. She's saying, okay, we're about lies. We're not about the truth. So if she's about lies, then that's what the devil's about. The devil's a lie, right?
And if the devil wants to um, distract as many people as possible, the devil takes over the churches,
Takes over the
and you get child predators, and you get people in the churches that um, get advanced
hmm
when those that try to speak the truth get stomped out.
right. You see, so
And you get people leaving the churches and leaving God because they associate what a so-called godly person has done to them with God doing it to them. And I totally get that.
right. So
And
you go ahead, man.
and it's, I mean, don't we see all these things? I know that there are going to be those that ridicule us for doing this episode, but it's not talked about. And if it's not talked about, it won't be brought to light.
Right. Exactly. So it's best that we inform or enlighten people. I mean, she's coming out and saying this stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
So
and this was in 2009.
right. So this is old. You see.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But what she was saying in 2009, we're starting to see very evidently, or at least in appearance now.
right. You're starting to as time goes on, you're going to start to see more and more of this, and it was hidden before, but now it's really gonna rise, and people are really gonna see it for what it really is. But
And that's going to be the choice eventually people have to make.
exactly,
The ultimate choice of good versus
that's
evil.
right. There it is.
And you better, we talk on here about being prepared. We talk about being physically prepared as far as having food and water and shelter and you know networks, the areas you could possibly go to if you had to evacuate, all those kind of things. We talk about being prepared, spiritually and emotionally and mentally, because those three might be more important than physically.
Right. All
Is that
day,
it?
all day. Because like,
Talk about that a little
right.
bit.
So there's the battles aren't necessarily physical. There's a lot of spiritual warfare that goes on. Um, and the reason I can tell you this is because the female I used to date, the African president's prime minister's niece was telling me about this. She's like, there's a lot of spiritual warfare. She told me, she's like, whatever presents itself in the spiritual realm will eventually present itself in the physical world. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. You see? So there's a lot of stuff that we, as Americans, aren't really aware of. But like I said, when you're in these other countries that practice, like I said, witchcraft or voodoo or juju, root works, whatever you want to call it, they're very, very very aware of these things. Um, but like I said, now here in the United States and Canada, it's really going to start to pop up. Rear its head. I don't know if you heard about. I don't know. I forgot what state this was in, but um, they had a Baphomet, um, and I think someone went and cut the head off, and like he was arrested,
Yeah, I think that was in Missouri
something like that, right?
at the state
Yeah,
house.
it, okay, they're putting this stuff out there right in front of you. You see what I'm saying? And they're telling you, hey, look, this is Baphomet. This is Lucifer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to tell me, okay, this is Lucifer. You'll believe in Lucifer, but you're trying to tell me you don't believe in God. I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense at all. People don't believe in God, but they believe in Lucifer. I'm like, how does that, like, does that even make any sense? To me, it doesn't.
No,
So,
no.
so here it is.
And God's not going to be an old man sitting on a cloud.
Now,
Okay. Uh, you got to get a different thought in your head if that's what you're thinking.
right,
Let's just kind of toss that out there. And Jesus is not going to be what you know any painter of the neo-modern era or any depiction we have of Jesus is not going to be the spiritual being that Jesus would be if he were to come back.
right, exactly. I think a lot.
So those, and while we're on it, the rapture is something that people are clinging to, and it's not scriptural. It's something that was loosely tied together, and people are going to be disappointed
Yeah, I mean,
that it's an individual thing. It's not a group effort. It's an individual thing. You are either individually going to be raptured or you're not.
mhm,
You're either going to be taken or you're going to be left.
yep.
And anyway, all right, let's get back to this.
We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children by abortion. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally, anger as our friend. The hate will blind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. This is the fourth dimension, and we will be seeing them soon. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths.
Speaking of which, the Congress had a hearing on the unidentified aerial phenomena and aliens, and one of the things that came out was be very careful with the language used, and don't call these visitors interstellar, but rather interdimensional.
All right. Which to me, I don't know.
I'm just throwing. It just came to me when she said that. That this is another dimension, and we'll be seeing them soon. She said this in 2009. We're in 2024, and I think there's a high probability that something was seen in Miami at the Miami Mall. Now, it wasn't going into Spencer's to buy a whoopee cushion. There's footage of a potential portal. There's people on the internet saying we were there, and the reason there's no footage is because all the electronics shut off. And anybody that's casually watched any kind of productions on television about electronics around suspicious areas, the electronics always shut down. So a lot of things adding up as from this way back in 2009.
They shall repeat it over and over. We shall repeat it over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger, through images and sound. We will use all tools we have to accomplish. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one, that they must never know. This they must never know. They must.
The divine truth is that we are all one. And this we are not supposed to know. We're that pigment, that gender, that none of the things matter as much as we let them matter. We're all one. And that's, according to this person that we're watching, that's the divine truth.
Must never know that the color is an illusion. They must always think that they are not equal. Drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their land, resources, wealth, to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom that they will have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we shall accuse them of crimes and present a different story to the world, for we shall own all of the media. We will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we shall crush them like insects, for they are less than that. This is us. They call us the goyim, the sheep of the cattle. We're food for the reptilian dimension. Oh, I'm still taping. They will be helpless and to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of their own to carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are not one of us. The recruits will be called initiates and will be indoctrinated to believe false rites of passage to higher realms.
So, are all these celebrities, all these things we're starting to hear about, all these potential World Economic Forum, WEF, World Health Organization, WHO, United Nations itself, all these unelected people and organizations that are trying to create a one world ecosystem somehow. Are they all the part of these initiates that's being talked about, or are they the ones that have done the initiation and it is they are them? There's this oath. Who is taking this oath, and who are being deceived by taking this oath and thinking they are going to become something that they are not and are just being used?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they have the ones that they've selected, the ones that really fall in line. And even if you did do it and you don't fall in line, then they'll probably just get rid of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like that's the plan.
The members of these groups will think they are one with us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn the truth, for they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel the stars. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage to the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden.
Okay. This to me is why it's important to always have an open mind and always be willing to admit you're wrong and always be willing to keep learning.
Yeah, for sure. Right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Hidden in their face, so close they will not be able to focus on until it's too late. Oh yes, so grand the illusion of freedom it will be, and they will never know how they are slaves. Oh yes, so grand the illusion of freedom it will be, and they will know. I've already read that. When it's all in place, the reality we will have created for them will be our own. The reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of dominion will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established for time immemorable. But if they were to find out that they are our equal, we will perish then. This they must never know. Wake up! We have to figure this out. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never ever find out what we have done, for if they do, we shall have no place to run, for it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is the secret covenant for which we shall live for the rest of our present and future lives, for this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans. This covenant is sealed by blood, our blood. We, the ones from whom, from heaven to earth came, those are the fallen angels. The covenant must never, ever be known to exist. It must never, ever be written or spoken of it, for it is. The consciousness it will spawn will release the fury of the prime creator upon us, and we shall be cast to the depths from the whence we came, and remain there until the end of time of infinity. And that's hell, and that's Planet X. When Planet X is coming, the creator and all the Anunnaki are on it, and they're going to come
Okay, this is all obviously her opinions on
and kick
things
your
here.
ass. Namaste. Go, we need a revolution. It's the Jesuits and the Vatican in top power. They worship Lucifer, and all the blood oaths are Luciferian. Okay, so Canada first, revolution. United States, let's go, welcome, because they're taking us over. They're vaccinating you now, and they're going to do it to us next month. Love you all. Bye for now. Not crazy about the reptilian race, though.
Okay, that's from 2009. What do you think?
Well, it's been here. And like I, that stuff has been here, Barry. It's just now coming out, where they've just suppressed it very, very well. But now it's really starting to come out. So,
And I've got a couple other things that I thought I'd loaded onto this laptop that I didn't. They're on the other one. I played an audio for you last night, and it's something we couldn't play on here because it was just absolutely nasty. But the allegations are starting to come out about a lot of famous people, and something that was in that oath was we'll use those that they look up to influence them. And you got to wonder how much truth is in what we just heard.
Yeah, but she was saying some things in there that I kind of like heard before. Okay, some of the language, and I'm like, all right, this is like legit. Not like just because I haven't heard of something doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah. And this is the internet. So, there's no way of us guaranteeing what we heard does it indeed exist, or somebody just wrote it themselves. Again, you can go to on Twitter, X, I'm sorry, I keep saying Twitter. You can go to, this is under Illuminati Coin. And sorry. It's under Illuminati Coin, ILLUMINATI COIN, from January the 10th. Again, I've been off for a while. For those that don't know, I had a little forced vacation. So it's from, and you can click on and read yourself what she was reading. She did, or whoever put that up does have that posted. So you can go back and do a little research if you so desire. But some of the stuff I've heard too, I had never heard it all put together like that.
Right, exactly. So for me, I kind of see what's going on now. You know, with I think just for me traveling and me being in different countries,
Hmm.
that practice the occult, because like here's the thing, you're really not supposed to know that these people are doing it. Okay, so
Right.
let me give you an example. When I was in Nigeria, there's this girl that liked me and wanted to date me, and I mean we went out and stuff like this. But the people told me if a female in Nigeria fixes you a whole lot of food, brings you a brings you a whole bunch of food over. Careful she hasn't put juju in it, right? So juju is nothing more than it's almost like a spell or powder to make a person like fall in love with you. All right. So that's a culture stuff right there. You know that, right? So
Hmm.
um she had actually come over and brought all this food.
I'm sorry, that's not funny, but
Yeah, she come over and brought all this food with her. And she's like, "Oh, come on, let's eat." And I'm looking at her like, "Well, I'm really not that hungry," even though I was.
again, I apologize. Go
So
ahead.
I'm looking at her like, I'm really not that hungry. And she's like, "I brought all this food over here, and you're not gonna eat?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm really not that hungry." And she's like, "What do you think? I put juju in it?" You see? And I was like,
Wow.
"See?" I was like, "You probably did. That's why I'm not eating it." Right? So
Yeah,
and like it's like you
because there's bad juju too,
right,
right?
right,
There's good juju and there's bad juju too.
right. So but I'm just like either way, it's not of God. So I don't want anything to do with it. You see?
Mhm.
But
I do.
she yeah, she's yeah. That and then they told me that, a while ago. I was like, really? Because otherwise I would have eaten it and I've been all jacked up or something. But um they informed me of, when a female does that in Nigeria, watch it, make sure she didn't put juju in it. And she
Wow.
tipped her hand.
There's a lot of things we don't know.
Right, right, and see that's the thing that the world is so big, and like I said, a lot of people in the United States just stay in the United States. Okay, they stay in their own little bubble. Okay, and they're very closed minded. I was one of these adventurous guys. I want to see the world and see what the world has to offer. The world's got a whole lot to offer. A lot of stuff that people aren't even aware about, man. Tons of things that people aren't even aware about. And
Yeah.
that whole occult thing, like here's another example. When I was in Haiti, right? I lived in Dominican Republic, and I travel all over the world, right? I remember the first time I went to Haiti, got off the bus. The first thing I noticed, the air was still. There was no breeze, no nothing. I mean, it was just completely still. And I was like, man, that's really odd. I mean, every country I've been in, at least there's the air is flowing. Here, when I went to Haiti and got off that bus, the air was still. And I was like, that is not a good sign at all. Even the second time I went back there, we flew into Port-au-Prince, and I was coming out of the airport, and I get out the airport, and the air was just still, Barry. It was still, and I was like what's up with this place? But you see, because
That immediately gives me bad vibes just hearing it.
right, so you have to understand they practice juju, they practice voodoo heavenly, they practice voodoo on a regular basis. You see, and who knows, that could be a spiritual stronghold, a demonic stronghold. and maybe I'm just picking it up like, hey, there's something wrong here. You see. So even where I stayed um, in Delmas, there was a voodoo temple, like maybe a quarter of a mile from where I stay. Like when I'm in foreign countries, I don't stay at hotels. I normally like live within like the locals. I'll find like an Airbnb, right, something like that, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
live within like the local community. But this one day I came back home, came back to the place where I stand, and I see these people outside dressed in white, and they had like the men have uh like red belts on and red handkerchiefs in their shirts, and the females had like red bandanas and red belts around around their waist, but they're all dressed in white. And I'm like this, and I'm like, man, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And they're like, yeah, and there's a voodoo temple right down the street. I said, there is. They're like, yeah. And they said, you hear those if you hear the drums playing, you know, make sure you're in by a certain time. And they say, if you hear those drums playing, make sure you get inside the house because they say it gets real spiritual. I was like, got it, got it.
Whoa. Okay. Just as a recap here at the end, um, if you're just joining us, you need to go back to the beginning because we've been watching and analyzing a roughly 12-minute video um, over what is supposed to be the Luciferian oath, the oath that is taken um, by those that are trying to get a shortcut into the next realm, in my opinion. um, and I'll pop that back up one more time here. Um, and this is it's from Illuminati Coin, uh, a Jesuit Satanic Secret Covenant. The video was by Dana Horchowski, and it was from 2009, not 2012. So that's where you can find it on Twitter again, January the 10th. If you want to read everything she's saying, because she adds some of her own content as we ourselves did tonight, but basically, um, uh, again, I'm not sure what's going on here. Why this keeps? There we go. The Secret Covenant, and you can read the entire thing. It's like 4 pages long. Also tonight we began with the story of the transvestite woman. I'm sorry, transgender woman in Oregon that was a 56-year-old transgender that has been arrested by the FBI, alleging violence against Jews, Black people, and targeting anti-trans co-workers. And at the same time, there is audio and video out of Roger Stone threatening to assassinate 2 Congress people, and for some reason he gets treated very differently than this person here. And I'm not going to show this. I'm obviously showing it, but I'm not going to play this. It is somebody's experiences that kind of back up everything we've heard tonight. And again, I played an audio for Chris that we couldn't play, that I just can't play on here because I just got back from a forced vacation. I do not want another one, so we're not going to show these videos. But there are Cat Williams, for example. Cat Williams was on the Shannon Sharp podcast. We played a little clip of it here, what he was saying about Chris Tucker, and there other people are coming out, kind of backing up what Mel Gibson was saying about Oprah and this network in Hollywood and beyond.
Yeah. I've heard that stuff about Oprah some time ago, though. You know,
I have too, and I poo-pooed it. You know,
right.
Which is what they want us to do in a lot of things. They don't want us to consider, man, could that be true? They just want us to brush it off and not look any deeper.
Yeah. So,
yeah. So we need to keep our eyes open
for sure. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. You'd be back on Friday night. We'll talk some politics, and you can, the questions you've had.
For sure.
We'll bring those things up and see if we can't get a couple of people to join us on a panel and take some questions from the chat and things like that.
Sounds good. Sounds real good.
All right, man. Thank you for being here as always, brother.
Hey, thank you.
All right. See you soon.
All right. Take care.
Peace. There we go. Again, thank you here. Let me pop back over here to the actually, let me show you one more thing real quick that I wanted to that's going to be part of what we talk about coming up on Friday. We've talked about it before, the devaluation of the dollar by BRICS, and this will impact our country. And nobody's talking about it like it should be talked about. It ought to be on all the mainstream media, preparing people for what may be coming. Trio of nations unite to kill the dollar with a BRICS currency. They are coming out with their own currency, just like the euro, just like many nations have their own currency. This unity, this coalition of Russia, of China, of Iran, India, South Africa, Brazil, and it just keeps growing and growing. Saudi Arabia is about to join. The United States is pressuring them heavily not to. What they do could determine, it will determine an awful lot, but that's kind of a broad thing, and we'll get into a little bit of it on Friday. But I did want to show you BRICS bloc, known for its economic prowess and global influence, is steering towards a radical reshaping of the global financial system. With their new currency initiative, these nations are sending a clear signal: the days of the U.S. dollar's unchallenged rule may be numbered. This isn't just about economics, it's about power and the balance of global influence. And again, we'll talk about that and many more things Friday night. I'm going to be back on tomorrow at some point because I've just got a whole bunch of things in my X bookmarks that need to be talked about. So I'm going to string those all together. And then again, Friday night at 9, Chris will be back on. You possibly could be on with us if you'd so desire. And email me, americandufus@gmail.com, or you can just leave a comment below, or actually leave a comment below is the best way to do it. And we will be back on 9 o'clock tomorrow, or 9 o'clock Friday night. I'll be on sometime tomorrow. Look for the notification. Eyes open. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the share, and love y'all like chocolate chip cookies. Peace.